wanted to read this speech that was not given at the DNC. The DNC, you had a big old festival about Kamala Harris. She's going to be the next president. Everybody look at Kamala Harris. She's going to give tax incentives so the developers can, just a bunch of capitalist shit. She's going to make it lethal. Okay, so my name is Ruwa Rommen. My name is Ruwa Rommen, and I'm honored to be the first Palestinian elected to public office in the great state of Georgia and the first Palestinian to ever speak at the Democratic National Convention. So they said that she's a Palestinian who's been elected in a swing state, and if she's not allowed to speak at the DNC, then nobody's going to be allowed to speak at the DNC. When it comes to the Palestinian cause, they're not going to, they give voice service, they give lip service to the Palestinian people. They're not going to stop it. Even the AOC voted for the Iron Dome. And if we're going to compromise on Palestine, we're going to compromise on working class, poor people, homeless, and we're also going to compromise on freedom of religion and brown and black folks as well. My name is Ruwa Rommen. I'm honored to be the first Palestinian, but my story begins in a small village near Jerusalem called Suba, where my dad's family is from. My mom's roots trace back to Al-Khalil, or Hebron. My parents, born in Jordan, brought us to Georgia when I was 8, where I now live with my wonderful husband and our sweet pets. Hebron, I want to say there's a Hebron in Boone County, Kentucky. Boone County, Kentucky, Hebron. Yep, it's an unincorporated community, census designated. There's a population of over 6,41048. It's named after the biblical city of Hebron. So there's a Hebron right here in Kentucky, named after the same Hebron where Ruwa Rommen is from. And she says she's from the great state of Georgia. The first Palestinian elected to public office in Georgia. My parents were born in Georgia, or Jordan. The country Jordan brought us to Georgia when I was 8 years old, where I now live with my wonderful husband and our sweet pets. Growing up, my grandfather and I shared a special bond. He was my partner in mischief whether it was sneaking me sweets from the bodega or slipping a $20 bill into my pocket with that familiar wink and smile. He was my rock, but he passed away a few years ago, never seen Suba or any part of Palestine again. Not a day goes by that I don't miss him. This past year has been especially hard as we've been more witnesses to the massacres in Gaza. I've thought of him, wondering if this was the pain he knew too well. When we watched Palestinians displaced from one end of the Gaza Strip to the other, I wanted to ask him how he found the strength to walk all those miles decades ago and leave everything behind. But in this pain, I've also witnessed something profound. A beautiful, multi-faith, multi-racial, and multi-generational coalition rising from despair within our Democratic Party. For 320 days, we've stood together, demanding to enforce our laws on friend and foe alike to reach a ceasefire, end the killing of Palestinians, free all the Israeli and Palestinian hostages, and to begin the difficult work of building a path to collective peace and safety. That's why we're here, members of this Democratic Party committed to equal rights and dignity for all. What we do here echoes around the world. They'll say this is how it's always been, that nothing can change. But remember Fannie Lou Hamer. Remember Fannie Lou Hamer, shown for her courage, yet she paved the way for an integrated Democratic Party. Her legacy lives on, and it's her example we follow. But we can't do it alone. This historic moment is full of promise, but only if we stand together. Our party's greatest strength has always been our ability to unite. Some see that as a weakness, but it's time we flex that strength. Let's commit to each other to electing Vice President Harris and defeating Donald Trump, who uses my identity as a Palestinian as a slur. Let's fight for the policies long overdue, from restoring access to abortions to ensuring a living wage, to demanding an end to reckless war and a ceasefire in Gaza, not just a ceasefire, an arms embargo. Stop sending billions to Gaza, stop sending billions to Israel, stop giving them our umbrella with the UN veto. Stop giving them weapons, stop giving them money, and stop giving them our umbrella with the UN veto. To those who doubt us, to the cynics and the naysayers, I say, yes, we can. Yes, we can be a Democratic Party that prioritizes funding our schools and hospitals, not for endless wars, that fights for an America that belongs to all of us, brown, black, and white, Jews and Palestinians, all of us, like my grandfather taught me, together. And that's the speech that they were too afraid to let them go with. Why wouldn't they have let Georgia State Representative Ruwa Rommen give that speech? It makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. So I just want to read that speech. That's from motherjones.com. So, stop the genocide. Stop the fucking genocide.